Hey, Good Sam, this is Pastor Jed, and I wanted to remind you that our congregational meeting is coming up. It's a time where we will gather together as a congregation. We will be celebrating the good things that God is doing. We will be recognizing that God is good, that He is faithful, that He is providing for our needs. One of the things that I am so thrilled about is that the generosity of this church continues to overflow. Behind me, we have a gift that someone gave the church. It's a lift. It's used for changing sound panels, working on speakers, swapping out light bulbs. But when I look behind me, what I see is a perspective machine. I see a big picture vehicle. And so I want to invite you to take a ride with me as we go up, as we gain some perspective, as we set aside the texts and the emails and the busyness of life, and as we consider some of the big things that God may have in store for us. The executive board and I have been thinking and praying and discerning, and we believe that God is calling us to lean into some things. And so if you want to hear more, come with me, take a ride. Let's go up. Let's get some perspective. Let's trust God for a vision as we think about 2021. Now that we've gone up, now that we have a little bit of perspective, now that we have a new vantage point, I wanted to invite you into a conversation that the executive board, the staff, and I have been having. As you can see, we have a lot of chairs and they are spread out through the building. The beautiful thing is, Sunday after Sunday, these chairs are being filled. Every single Sunday, new people come to Good Sam for the very first time. And the beautiful thing is that they are loving it. They want this to be their church home. But if we're going to invite more and more people and allow more and more people to join our family, we're going to have to come up with some creative solutions to create some more space so that there will be a seat with everyone's name on it. We've been looking at a number of possibilities, and the best possibility that we've identified is launching a second service. A second service which is very similar to the first. Blended in worship, the same style, the same sermon, the same people serving. It would look exactly like it does from the first service to the second service. We're looking at launching it at 9 o'clock and having it last till 10:15, and then creating some space for part of our congregation to leave the service as the other part of the congregation comes to worship for the first time. We would gather at the inn outside with coffee, with cookies. It would be a time of connection and celebrating the relationship that God has given us. And then we would launch into our second service of the morning. Again, we've looked at a lot of possibilities, and this is the one that is continuing to rise to the surface. What I love is that it's going to give us the opportunity to continue to reach people in our community. It is a change, it is a sacrifice, but many of the people who would be asked to make the biggest sacrifice have actually been coming to me with this idea, with this plan, with the agreement that they have more and they are willing to give more if we can reach more people with the love of Christ. The second big idea that I want to introduce to you is the idea of expanding our staff, of identifying and hiring a children's ministry coordinator to help lead our children's ministry. I love what God is doing with our children's ministry. We have people in place that are giving out of their abundance. They are giving from the heart. They are giving their very best. One of the things that I see is missing is someone to be able to represent all of children's ministry. And so the children's ministry coordinator would cast vision. They would help us to discover what a discipleship model for children's ministry would look like for people who are 9 months old until they would go to student ministry. They would also help parents understand that they have a key responsibility in helping their students be discipled. And so this person would cast vision. They would help parents lean into the discipleship process. They would also help us administratively. There are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of details. There are a lot of forms. There is a lot of technology that will help our children's ministry expand. And so this person would lean into this. The third thing that this person would do would be to help us recruit and celebrate and train children's ministry leaders. That this would be their full-time responsibility, that this would be the thing that they would always be thinking about. The final thing that this person would do is they would have a seat at the table at the staff meeting. And so every single week they would be representing children's ministry. They would be talking about how children are a part of the future. At Good Sam, we recognize that we want to pass the baton of faith to the next generation. And so this helps us to do this. Again, these are two big ideas that we're thinking about. We are praying, we are considering these ideas, and we want you to be a part of the conversation. And so I want to thank you for being such a generous church that is thinking about the future, celebrating the past, and coming together as a body that is committed to the vision that Christ has given us. I can't wait to be together as we celebrate the good things that God is doing. Blessings.